And Eddie, now we got to ask you too. How's Tony Ferguson now? He's fighting Anthony Pettis. Is it 220? He's on Conor
that's the co-main.
Khabib. Yeah. Oh, it is the co-main. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's healing up okay.
Fuck, he's healing up incredibly. He's doing everything possible for his rehab. He's got his own gym now, and he's got all this equipment like red light therapy, compression, like leg sleeve things, and some kind of he's got all this therapy he's doing, constant massages and everybody knows he's cardio machine. He's working. He's working so hard every day. He's in the best shape of his life right now. He was never an alcoholic or anything like that, but he decided to quit drinking once and for all. And he's that injury really made him reevaluate how he was living his life. And how he was already training like a bad motherfucker anyways, and now it's even more intense. So you're gonna see the best Tony ever against Pettis.
Eddie, let me ask you, as a jiu-jitsu master, if you were to work with Conor McGregor for his fight versus Khabib, what would you do? I mean, could he master the rubber guard in fucking 8 weeks? How is he gonna survive down there? I mean, listen, if he doesn't knock him out initially, of course, people are saying that, but
yeah,
tell me your thoughts on that.
If I had 3-4 months to train him, I would definitely add rubber guard to his game. Would it be enough at that point? I don't know. But I would add a lot of other stuff too. We would be working, guard retention, guard recovery, side control escape, back escape, mount escape, over and over every day. Side control escape, guard recovery, guard retention. What I think the mistake people are making with Khabib, the biggest mistake is when they get taken down, they're trying to get back up. Getting back up is not going to work against Khabib. That's where he shines. He shines in riding people that are trying to get back up. You remember that movie, The Warriors?
Of course. Sure.
Remember when they were running from the baseball Furies? Ajax and that other guy were running, and the baseball Furies were chasing him through the park. Remember that?
Of course.
And they were running, and then Ajax and that guy decided to stop. They're like, "Fuck this running. Let's stop. Let's just stop and beat these pussies up." Right? Remember that?
Yeah.
They stopped. I think when Tony fights Khabib, he's not going to be trying to drag himself up from the fence. He's going to square up and fight him off his back, not spend the whole goddamn round trying to get up and getting beat down. That shit ain't going to work against Khabib. He wants you to do that shit. So he hasn't had anybody with a high-level guard square up with him and fight him and go after him off his back. You know what I mean? Attack him off his back, not trying to drag themselves away and trying to climb up the fence and just drag themselves and turning and trying to stand up. That shit will never work. That's just going to lose you rounds. So, I'm not saying that my strategy will work, but we already know that other strategy is not going to work. So with Tony, we're constantly preparing to, if he ends up on his back, to attack. And I don't think no one's throwing any heat at Khabib off their back. They're just trying to survive and trying to get back up. So that's the approach we're going to take with Khabib.
So when Khabib
elbows, you know what I mean? Throw elbows. Put him in full guard. Constant. Don't try to drag yourself away. Try to focus on putting him in full guard and throwing elbows. Recover, throw elbows. Recover, throw elbows. Recover, throw elbows. Cut him up instead of trying to drag yourself away like a zombie.
So you think when guys have been taken down by Khabib, they're almost thinking, okay, this is the nightmare I was worried about. Just try to get out of it instead of addressing it head on.
Exactly. They're all trying to drag themselves away, and he just rides those wrists. And if they do get back on their feet, he's just going to bring them back down again. He's really good against the fence, standing against the fence. Khabib is amazing standing against the fence. Whether he came from being just like a kickboxing situation and then clinching against the fence, you're fucked. Or he took you down and you got up and you're against the fence. Same scenario. He'll just retake you down, and you're just going to lose rounds until you finally get TKO'd.
So what do you see happening with him and Conor? Again, I know there's no. I think Conor has a shot in the first because Khabib is known to take punches. But I mean, as soon as Khabib gets him against the fence or is able to take him down, I think Conor's in a lot of trouble. Do you think he has a shot early in that round?
I think Conor's only shot is with his fist. No doubt he's probably the most powerful puncher, pound for pound, maybe ever in the UFC. He's definitely in the conversation, but that does not punching power does not translate at all to guard work.
Right.
So look at what Rafael dos Anjos. That's a legit black belt. His guard wasn't good enough for Khabib. Edson Barbosa's guard wasn't good enough. Nobody's guard is good enough for Khabib, and they're all trying to get back up. They're all spending the whole round trying to get back up instead of just staying there and attacking him and, going with the attitude, like thank him for taking him down. Who knows if that strategy would work either because no one's really tried it, but we know the other strategy is not working.
Yeah, so you might as well try something new. And how do you think of, Gastelum is fighting Whitaker for the middleweight title. What do you think of that fight?
Well, Gastelum's my boy, so
sure.
It's gonna be a one hell of a fight, but hopefully it goes Gastelum's way, and he definitely has what it takes to beat Whitaker. But make no mistake about it, nobody is guaranteeing any kind of win in that fight. That caliber of a fight. Whitaker is top of the food chain, super crazy dangerous, tough as shit, so it's going to be an amazing fight. Now,
we've talked to you a lot about fighting, but I want to ask you, what do you play? I didn't even realize you were a musician. If I did realize that, I didn't remember because my memory stinks.
I knew that.
Yeah, I produce music, been producing music my whole life. I got an album on YouTube for free. I don't, no one wants to buy my music, but the album's called Mix Flick of Death and Devotion. You could find it on YouTube. It's 15 of my songs that I produced, cut to my favorite movies of all time. So I made music videos out of Scarface, Memento, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Moon, The Shining, Enter the Dragon, The Crow. So that's why it's called Mix Flick. So it's like a mixtape, but it's a mix flick. So you could catch that on YouTube.
So are you playing in these bands, or are you just producing?
I play, produce, arrange. Do
you sing?
There's a guitar, no?
A little bit.
You do the guitar.
I'm very limited with my vocals, so I stay in the background, and if there's a line or two that I could pull off, I'll just add a little. I'll sprinkle myself in. But I'm dealing. I'm working with super high level vocalists and rappers too, because I produce hip hop as well. So my MCs are just as high level as you can get, and the singers that I work with are just classically trained, amazing Sarah McLachlan level vocalist. So, I stay in the background.
Well, that's great, man. Listen, tell me, when does this tournament start and how can people see this?
Which one?
The Quintet.
Quintet is the day before Khabib versus Conor. It's in Vegas, so if you're coming out to Vegas Friday, you check out Quintet. It'll be 10th Planet versus Sakuraba's team, who Josh Barnett's on Sakuraba's team. Uriah Faber's got a team, and the Polaris team, who won the first Quintet. Those guys are that's going to be the toughest team out there to beat for us. They got Craig Jones, and Craig Jones is one of the best grapplers in the world right now, and he crushed that first Quintet. So it's going to be crazy. That's Friday. Then Saturday's the UFC. It's all in Vegas. EBI 17 is going to be September 29th. It's before that. It's going to be at Muscle Farm HQ in Burbank, and that's going to be the first ever 16-man combat jiu-jitsu tournament. So that's going to be fucking nuts. Jesse Taylor from the UFC, he's in it. He's expected to win it all. 3-time black belt no-gi champion Felipe Fogolin, he's also in it. He's a favorite. We got my guys from 10th Planet, John Thor Blank. He's a rising star in the 10th Planet world. I expect him to do damage. Kyle Chambers is also one of my guys from 10th Planet. He's a leg lock machine. So it's going to be fucking nuts. Also, Josh Neer, UFC veteran, is also jumping in. Tamden McCrory, also another UFC veteran, is in it. Most of 99.9% of all the combat jiu-jitsu guys stepping up, they all have MMA experience. pure jiu-jitsu guys are not stepping up at all, unless they're 10th Planet guys, because I got a bunch of 10th Planet pure jiu-jitsu guys who are trying to get into combat jiu-jitsu. But most of the traditional BJJ world, they think combat jiu-jitsu is too gangster. But MMA fighters, they're thinking, oh my God, this is easy. It's just palm strikes.
And this is
crazy.
And this can be seen on
MMA
Fight
fighters
Pass.
MMA fighters think it's pussy MMA, and jiu-jitsu fighters think it's extreme gangster.
I like it. I think it keeps you honest. And those guys that are just doing any technique and not worried about getting punched in the face, at least they'll get a nice smack or palm strike and be like, okay, I got to create some distance with my legs now and stuff. So I like it.
It keeps your jiu-jitsu a little more honest.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it directs it more towards the MMA arena, which is in the direction of realistic street altercations. You know what I'm saying?
And you can watch it on Fight Pass. It is available on Fight Pass to watch if you can't get out
Yes,
to
it'll be
Vegas.
on Fight Pass as well.
All right, Eddie, thank you, man. And it's always good. I don't know, have we had you on before? I know I've talked to you. I've done Joe's podcast with you, but I don't know if we've actually had you on this show.
No, he's never been on.
No, I don't think so.
All right, well, it's good talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Eddie, if you ever visit,
Thank you.
Eddie, you there still?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
here.
Listen, if you're ever in New York, man, and you want to bang out a seminar, you let me know, dude. I'd love to have you at my place.
Oh, you're in Long Island still, right?
I'm in Strong Island, dude.
Oh,
We'd love
shit,
to
cool.
share some rubber guard with us.
Thank you, man. I'll take you up on that for sure.
Later, Eddie.
See you later, man. Take care.
Thank you. Take it easy. See
Bye.
ya.
The great Eddie Bravo.
Yeah, Eddie's fun. Eddie's a good dude, man.
I'm gonna
I
pee.
I gotta go pee too.